It's passed us by like a flash. It's passed us by. Rundown week 13. We're going to obviously discuss the week that has been, sort of put our predictions forward going into the future. But just to start the show off, um, we know that the York Centurions lost a teammate this week, Adam Scott. So us at the rundown at Sport Tank, we'd want to pass our condolences to both his family um, and to York as well. Just so everyone's aware, they're raising money for Mind. The link for it is on their socials. It's also here as well. I'm going to put it in the chat, um, and we'll share it a bit later on. But if you do want to donate, um, please do go over to York, and just just I think anything will help. The target's well within sight for them for this, but again, just condolences to Adam's family and to York as well. So just wanted to say that, and we're gonna bring in. Uh, I I don't understand how Dylan's done it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't understand. Okay, like I will go through the scores, but I don't quite understand how he's done it. But we're gonna we're gonna get into that. We'll say that the link I've just posted the link in the bio there. We're gonna read out some of the scores. Obviously, we've got Mike here. Mike was at Brighton versus Sussex, which I picked wrong. SJ's probably getting some munch. So we're gonna just read out the old score skis, and then we're gonna get into it because we need to set the barrier for the week 13 that was, and what a week 13 it was. We sort of know what the playoffs will look like now, but we're gonna guess the key words. Look at the title of the video. Guess. Um,
It's all a guess. This isn't. Please do not take this as gospel.
it's
Please.
guess.
It all comes
Guess.
out tomorrow. That's when it really comes out.
It comes out
Please.
tomorrow. We are going to do a show on Monday when it's all confirmed, but it's just I've wanted to get those Wednesday fixtures out of the way, do a show now and then do a show on Monday. So starting off in the Premiership, the UE Bullets get a walkover from the SGS Pride. Yeah, there's not much to really say. I don't want to dive into that particular topic. Nottingham Gold beat Loughborough 40 to
Let's see
6.
that.
Yeah, that's yeah. Durham Saints continue their upwards trajectory here, beating Newcastle 37 to 6. Cardiff Cobras, they do beat the Portsmouth Destroyers, but it's not doesn't look like it's going to be enough for the Cobras. But okay, one thing we will say, ladies and gentlemen, when we're talking about this, we're going to talk about this sort of regularly, not like there's a national league that's going to come and just fuck it all up. Okay, we're aware there's a national league, right? We are aware, but and I don't know if it's happening yet. Be nice if it was, but until we know, we're just going to talk about it regularly because Cardiff might not even leave the Prem again, which is be really funny. Moving on to Division One, Exeter, their season's undefeated, beating the Bath Killer Bees 16 to 3. Though I will say I heard the Bath Killer Bees were up 3-0 at the half. Whatever you want to take away from that. Oxford Lancers get a walkover against the Bears. Again, Exeter Demons continue 39-3 over the Barracuda. Edinburgh Mavericks shut out the Napier Knights 16-0. Glasgow continue their winning ways, beating Aberdeen 26-0. The Brunel
That's it in
Burners.
Scotland. Nothing else in Scotland.
Nothing else in Scotland. No,
You
well,
did
that is
follow
right
on
at the
with
bottom.
something else,
That
to be
was right at
fair.
the bottom. Brunel. Jesus Christ. Brunel have won a division. World's going to end 40-0 against the Hurricanes. KCL beat the QMBL Vipers 36 to 6. Bournemouth beat Southampton 34-0. Warwick pack up the West Midlands derby and send Coventry on their way 30-0. Much like in the same vein, Leeds pack off the Hull Sharks 66-0. Jamie was tear in his eye all the way in Qatar. Also, it's exam week over in Qatar for Jamie, so that's why he's not here. Um, Liverpool Raptors. No one picked Liverpool, by the way. 18-0 against LJMU. Manchester Titans win the Manchester Derby 30-12. And the Harriet Watt Wolverines beat the Sterling Klansmen 33-16.
I'll be honest, Serge, I still don't believe it until you just said it there.
Nope, nope,
That's now
nope.
official in my books. I might go at bait Bucks play. I'm not sure.
We will talk about it because obviously that's a scoreline that everyone was like, huh? Hey? Um, NTU Renegades had 2 games this week, winning both, beating Hallam 42-0 and Leicester 35-6. In Division 2, the Swansea Titans take the division. Swansea slide no more 39-0 against Aberystwyth. UClan is going forward 27-0 against the Bombers. The Green beat the Colonials 37-14. Sunderland Spartans give a walkover to the Mustangs. I don't understand why we all picked Kiel last week. I really don't, as they lose to Staffordshire 6-36. In UCL beat Imperial Immortals 24-14. Yep. Gloucestershire beat the Bath Spa Bulldogs 36-16. Surrey Stingers shut out the Spitfires 20-0. Brighton Panthers shut out the Sussex Saxons 26-0. The Sabres beat the Bears 26-6. The Royals give a walkover to the Blitz, and the Braves beat the DMU Lions 35-0. So looking at some of these sort of more tastier matchups, you know,
Just to check, was it not Kiel where you accidentally put Solo Staffordshire and the Kiel players got really wound up about it in the comments?
no, that was the week before where
Okay,
I picked. No, we genuinely all picked Kiel. Um, it was Edge Hill versus someone else, and I'll put us down for York St John and over.
that was it. Is that SJ? I can't hear anything.
SJ, can you hear me?
Oh, no, I can.
Thanks, mate. So looking at some of the always a pleasure, Dylan. So look at some of the bigger games that happen this week. We are going to go up to a man with some first-hand experience.
You know what? I think the Scottish division this year has been so random in that you look at the results. So, what? Stirling lost to Edinburgh and us. Edinburgh lost to Glasgow twice. Oh no, once. I don't know, it was twice. They lost home and away, I think, to Glasgow. We lost to Glasgow by a point and then by 12 points or such. It's been the weirdest division in the world. I think, obviously, missing out on the Napier Aberdeen games made us look a lot worse than we had, but yeah, I was really proud. We had a squad of 19 lads, I think, on Sunday, of which 11 were first years.
It's one of these things where I think that
I just lost audio again.
I thought that scoreline came in. They beat Stirling, who were like the big guys in that division, and it's like what could have Harry Watt been? You know, obviously, I'm sure that you're more I am Dylan, but it's still it's still an incredible result, and it's I think Harry was still a team to. I think that win then the next year, you know.
That was so crucial. So from my point of view, it's like we had a huge sort of recruitment drive this year. We had a lot of injuries throughout it. A lot of seniors getting injured, and obviously in the away fixture against Stirling, we had our main receiver sort of get KO'd in fourth year and then call it quits on the sport. And we had a few sort of situations like that. I think it'd have been a lot harder getting some of the the Jersey Uni Bowl here. If I'd had sort of our biggest recruitment year in a while, and then we went, what, 0-6, 0-7, it'd have been horrendous. But the fact that we managed to sort of do it against Sterling, who, don't get me wrong, it's it was a bad result for them. They're a far better team, than it was sort of mental errors and such here and there. I think the score got drove up because there was like maybe a mental error drive, and actually we capitalised for the first time all year. We've not really done that. And yeah, honestly, of the 19 players we had, I think 3 of us haven't really walked since Sunday. My rib cage is absolutely battered, and
Again,
it's a
it's still
really
just immense. Like
huge
we were,
point.
like when we saw that result come in, we were absolutely creasing. Couldn't quite fathom it. You know, no one fathomed it. But we're going to have a look at us three's playoff predictions our division winners predictions that we did at the start of the year. And yes, divisions is spelt wrong, and SJ pointed out to me
Sorry. Yeah, sorry
8
about
months
that.
ago, and he pointed out to me again today. But we're going to get into that. So we're going to move on to SJ. Yeah, you know, we've been doing this show for a few years now, and we've obviously seen Brunel do Brunel things, but Brunel things was never win a division. So
It was always think you could win a division, because this was the thing I was thinking, like, okay, yeah, we always win our division, so I don't know what's happened. Then someone reminded me, as it has actually been 4 years since we last won the division. Like, there's actually very few of us still here that were here last time we won the division. But when you look at the team successes, you wouldn't think that was the case. By that I mean, obviously we haven't won anything playoff wise, but we've always won games, but no division. There's always been something every year, whether that was Imperial just being lights out in that one season, or us not getting all our games played last year. But I think even if you look back at last year, Essex beat us twice. So can you really argue that
no,
Essex are a better team? There's another case of it this year with another team. But again, if you don't beat what's in front of you, then what can you really? There's nothing you can complain about, really. But yeah, I'm very happy
I was going
considering
to
the
say, like,
bollocks that happened
does
this
it
year.
feel like that stigma's off your back, like, or is it going to be like, oh no,
Um,
we have to come in at a low seed in the playoffs, and
I
you
think it
lose the
was.
first round.
We had a lot of injuries first half of the season, like a lot of injuries. The team that we put out in the first game against Hearts was missing, I think, 5 or 6 starters. Same against Oxford. So we didn't have our full team until the last game, like, which is a bit of a joke that in fact it took that long. But again, like, there were people on here that we didn't put the comments up, but the comments were that are Bruno overrated because they did it in the southeast, but they can't hack it in the south. And I think that just fueled the guys. At the end of the day, I think that's what fueled them. There was a lot of doubters when we went into this division, and I think I hope we proved it wrong. But it's still, like I said, still a lot more to go. But yeah, I finally won on Hertfordshire's pitch after playing there like 5 times, so I'm happy, buzzing.
So looking at sort of the other fixtures around the league that have a lot had implications, but let's start off in the Prem. Cardiff managed to win, but just don't get it done. Let's put the National League to one side. Do you think that this season has been enough to really look at Cardiff and go, yeah, you know what, fair enough. You,
Um,
you are a good side. Oh no, they beat Portsmouth twice, but you know, considering, especially when we were at Birmingham versus Cardiff, comparatively to the team that they were last year, I don't think that Cardiff are. Sorry, guys, like the joke that they were last year. Now I don't feel that they are.
no, I think they had a lot of injuries last year, didn't they? Like really early
Yeah,
on, so that didn't help them. I think I suppose it's kind of cool that they got to, I guess, prove people that they can do it. If they'd gone 0-8, it'd probably be a very different conversation.
yeah,
But they went 2-6, which again is a negative record. But two wins against Portsmouth, who got 2 wins against Brum, who got 2 wins against Cardiff. It's actually very hard to work out who's actually the best team out of the 3 of those.
yeah, 100%.
I
That
think
makes
UEA proved this year though how big that sort of gap is between the Prem and Div One. In that, I know there was the whole sort of Cardiff for a joke last year, but I think any team in the Prem, you've sort of got to admit, must be doing something right. Like UEA going down and having an absolute, obviously, I'm still confused over what happened in the last week or what hasn't happened with them. But um,
Oh,
I
brother.
don't think.
We'll get onto
Brother.
Yeah,
that.
but Cardiff sort of. I don't think you could ever really doubt a Prem team being good, and obviously it's a
I feel as
really
though it
tough
was there just
situation.
because obviously UEA took the voluntary relegation, and people were like, "Oh, Cardiff are just going to get pumped again." Whereas, those three teams at the bottom, that was tight until the end.
I I think this year, if you'd kept UEA in there, I think UEA would have gone 0-8.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And I don't think that's disrespectful to say. I think that's just the truth of it. UEA took relegation for a reason.
Yeah,
You don't just take
exactly.
relegation for bants just because you can then go and smash teams in Division One.
I think you've
Yeah,
got to give a lot of credit to how Cardiff dealt with last year. I'm not being funny. It's quite hard to sort of get better after a year where you've had, what I said there, like us winning that game was so big for me. So I didn't like the thought of trying to recruit or retain people having had a complete losing season. The way Cardiff sort of managed it, where sort of making the jokes about it and ploughing on with a fun day out, and I've actually managed to turn it into a positive and get a better team and then go out and win games this year. I think that's all credit. That's got to be how the committee are running it or the culture, but it's an amazing sort of little way of keeping in like a division with UE and SGS, which, as much as the fun day outcome is, it can't be fun. I'd hate it for a number of reasons.
exactly. Like they've managed to keep their head above water, and they know that it's like, no National League in this conversation, so potentially they're going down. But like, you can't. I don't. I think it might be impossible to turn around and hate the Cardiff Cobras. You know.
I don't
So
think anyone ever
moving.
really hated them,
No, but I'm
to be
just
fair.
saying. I'm just saying.
Uh,
Like you can't look at them and be like, what a bunch of bloody knobheads over there. No, it's
do
like
you hate the Cardiff
fair
Cobras,
fucks to
Sam?
the Cobras, and fair fucks to the Destroyers for staying up as well. I mean, I think. I mean, I did. I thought, I don't know about this Portsmouth last year. I know that I've got a tumultuous relationship with the Destroyers, but I thought they were coming back down. So,
No, I think
fair fuck
I
to
thought
them
they'd
there.
get I thought they'd get 2 wins, but not against the team that they did get it against.
Yeah, like to beat Brum twice. Like you can say what you want about Brum, that's still pretty big. So moving on, we're gonna just look at some of these teams that are undefeated. Obviously, Gold Bullets. We can sort of skip those. They're both they're both good. Um, or do we? Hmm.
Did Cardiff not also concede the least against UWE, or have I got that wrong?
Who?
I wouldn't.
Cardiff. Let's not look too much into that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't read too much into that
Okay.
if I'm completely honest, mate. Is there a chance the Gold struggle in the playoffs? Do you think? I think I think on paper you might think
Nah,
so, but the answer is no.
nah,
It's just something that I think
nah. I think when we get into playoffs and we talk about playoffs, you know,
yeah,
depending
different
on how
gravy.
SGS, I think really it depends on how SGS are feeling by this time next week. Obviously, with
Yeah,
everything that was going on there, um, obviously I think they will play their playoff game. I'd be very surprised if they didn't. And I think a team that's dealing with that kind of stuff is going to come out of the gates and want to prove a point.
yeah,
So I think they'll beat Durham, and then we'll have our final four again as normal. I don't think anything will change with that, unless
no,
Carnegie fall to absolute pieces and Brum somehow beat Carnegie.
be an interesting one. Like I always somehow manage to pick Brum in the playoffs. Um, so okay, so looking at some of the undefeated teams that we've got. Obviously, we've got Exeter, we've got NTU. We don't, not UE like UEA, not anymore. Um, this is a question that I've posed a lot in some of the rankings. Northern playoffs and Northern championships are we, and I mean that as we, and also the Uniball World Large, are we completely underestimating and underselling the NTU Renegades?
Yeah. I think you do a pretty
Um,
good job of underrating the North most years.
No, 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 no. I'm talking about within the Northern playoff structure. I'm not talking about in general. I'm talking
Oh,
about, it's been Leeds and Manchester. They're going to win the division for the whole year. Leeds or Manchester. But there's a NTU have been undefeated, beating people like Hallam. I know Hallam, easy to say they're not the team they once were, but shutting them out. Are we gonna be surprised come the playoffs, and NTU are just gonna be in the final?
I think NTU should be in the final. I've not seen anything to do with NTU, but I've heard about the quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, as it goes back to the thing, if you've got a good quarterback, you've got a good wide receiver, you could probably win a lot of games. But I don't think we're underselling them. I think they, yeah, I suppose they have gone under the radar a bit. I don't think we've actually spoke about them that much, considering that they're an undefeated team. I don't know if it's because Warwick when did Warwick and NTU actually play? It was quite late in the season, wasn't it?
It was quite early on because they played 2 games back to back, and we covered the first one in Warwick.
Yeah, I don't know why they were. Yeah, I suppose. Sorry, NTU, which is kind of
Yeah.
forgot.
It's very very difficult to sort of quantify. Like NTU
26th of November.
Yeah, like it was. If I feel like if NTU played Warwick later on, but it's just are we underselling them? Can we see them later on? Still think Leeds Manchester's hovering about. Do we dare try and discuss? Do we think
It's one of
anyone from
those.
do we think
Let's
anyone
be
from
honest.
Scotland's going to make an impact? Really?
What?
Um, you know what? We said this last year, and then Aberdeen gave Nottingham Green a pretty decent game, if I remember. I know. It's so hard to tell when you get into divisions. Like we're talking about Leeds and Manchester being good, and that's because of Leeds last year. Whereas just look at NTU this year, which is what you can really base them on, and got the scores here. I don't think any of us thought Leicester were going to be the team they were coming out of the season. Shutting out Hallam that we knew last year seems ridiculous. Like a 42-0. And
But
that's
this,
a team that was in
this is
the
it. It's like it's. We've been talking about Leeds and Manchester. More so Leeds, even though they lost to Manchester only by 2. But we're just not talking about the Renegades. And I feel like that is an apology that we have to make now because I feel like it's going to come back to bite us in the playoffs.
Okay, I'm going to say this: NTU are going all the way. There you go.
Fine, there we go. Needed to get it on paper. NTU to go all the way.
NTU to win the North at this point. I think. I don't
But
see Scotland doing
I promise
anything.
we're still full locked in on Exeter though.
Scotland has a number of Edinburgh in particularly has a few very big problem players. Their D line is disgustingly brutal, as I found firsthand. I think I mentioned it to you at the time. I spent an entire day running around. It's game
But
plan
is
of
that
come into
you?
it. I don't think was that.
Is that you not getting the ball out quick enough?
Yeah,
No, that's a six
get a
foot
Is
better
it?
cannon
six
there,
foot.
Dylan, mate.
It's a 6'8" Brazilian man called Altobelli who comes around the corner. I think I timed it, and the average time I had was around 1.9 seconds for like an entire drive at points. And
I'll tell you what you need to do there. You need to run bubble screens. Job done.
yeah, but they caught on to that pretty quick. So
I
this
could
is
be an OC.
what you said the other week, like, oh, every game's easy to win when you watch film. Yeah, no, let's run bubble screens. Why didn't we do that at the time? Of course we did. We didn't have like an awful game against them. It's just they've got a few very big problem players. Glasgow are the same, and they're quite a good sort of fighting team. I know, obviously, the Scottish division's been like an interesting one this year due to a number of reasons, but it's so hard to compare into division because I've no idea how much better or worse everybody else is compared to us or
Yeah,
them.
like it's so difficult to compare like the North because like even if you consider MMU, there's not a they only had 1 win, but it's not like they're awful. And then like Hull, who I expected to be not very good, come out and win 3 games, and then LJMU and Liverpool, despite LJMU not having the season that we thought we'd do, and we'll get into that.
I
Like
would.
the Northern one, is probably one of the best divisions in Uniball, I feel like. Whereas the Midlands, you can sort of say, and again, I've been saying this, it's a good thing that you're being relegated, Cov. And we knew Leicester's goal would be to beat Cov and stay up, and that's exactly what they've done. Fall to everyone else. It's a win for Leicester. Whereas in the Northern One, can you really say that there is a team that was
Can
really
these
looking?
teams need to give us their film, because then we can actually.
Oh yeah, God, my
But
job
it's
would
that
be a
thing,
lot.
isn't it?
Problem is though, is that I probably would have to do this as a full-time job if
But I think the
people were
thing
to, and I
is,
do it. Make me a GoFundMe so I can quit working at
you
the
just
fucking book.
you just don't
Ashley
know
works in a
until the
sports union.
final.
He's got plenty of free time.
What?
You work in the SU, you've got plenty of time. I've never known somebody with such quick replies in a full-time job in my life. It's
I don't have a lot of free time. I'm very busy. Yeah, do leave it at
Yeah,
that.
he's not a student anymore. You fuck. Okay, so
right.
looking at looking at the South one. As far as I'm concerned, it's still Exeter. You know, not leagues ahead of everyone else, but I don't see anyone causing an issue there. So the question I'm going to pose is something that Lydon brought up when he was on the show a few weeks ago. Should you still be like? Should you still have looking in your rearview mirror in case of the Bournemouth Bobcats?
Um, I think the issue with that is based on looking at Bucks play and stuff. You'd argue that Bournemouth are going to end up on Exeter's side of the bracket.
Yes.
That may be the only that could be the only reason why Bournemouth don't make the final. That's not underestimating, but that is just saying if we're going based on what is on paper, they've lost twice to a team. You can't beat them another time, but on paper, you'd argue that
Okay,
Bournemouth are
fucking
going to
Mr.
go out.
Essex Brunel last year. Like, everyone,
On,
everyone was thinking that. You know, it's not written
on
in stone,
paper,
and even you know that. You know.
it's a. I think I would argue the better question to ask is who is playing Exeter in the final.
Yeah, so do I.
That's the question I think to ask, and that's Exeter on the crumb, as they like to call it. They have a lot of fun days out there.
Hopefully, I can stream that game up in the Windy Tower. They brought me a thermos of coffee as well. It was lovely. I don't normally get a drink, so there you go. Love it. Okay, let's move on down to Div 2. Obviously, the northern one. This is sort of going to go back to an NTU question. Are we underestimating a Nottingham-based side? Renegades versus
So,
Demons rematch for the Marbues as opposed to the first round. Oh, this is a good little stat line. I like
look
this.
at that.
That
Yeah, I
is a
like that.
great
That's from
stat
10
line,
years ago.
Lewis. Oh,
Yeah.
10 years ago, you love to see stuff like that. It'd be a good game. Okay, so
It's so long ago we put circa, which means we're not quite. We think it's 2014,
okay,
but we're
so
not sure.
moving on to the Div 2 North. Obviously, we've been sort of blown away by Northumbria as the sort of ingenuity and the future plans of UClan. They've both won their divisions, but the team who won the Midlands, are we under Nottingham Green?
I would say that what Nottingham Green has done is a bigger achievement than what the other two have done.
Yes,
The
I
reasoning
completely agree.
behind that is that Nottingham Green are in all words, they're a B team,
Yeah,
which means that the players. There's no way of saying it in a way that doesn't sound like I'm calling the team shit, because they're definitely not shit. But the best players were playing the goal. But then I think that's testament to how the whole Nottingham program as a whole is ran. So to say you've got a second team and the second team is in Division 1 is pretty maddening when you consider it's probably all one big program. It's got separate. I don't actually know entirely how it works up in Nottingham. So if anyone's in the comments saying you can explain it, I imagine it's two separate coaching staffs and stuff like that. But do they train together? Like, how does it work?
They definitely sent Jason Scott to Aberdeen last year, so they must intermingle to a degree. He was with the Green playoff last year, definitely.
but it's going to be interesting because I think this is like
He definitely wasn't
they're
top
gonna
for
have
last year.
home field advantage, but it's Like I think it's fairly certain to say, very much in the same vein as the Southern one, who is going to be facing Northumbria in the final. That is how I view it personally.
I think Nottingham Green could do that. I'm not being funny. They
But you can't
like
get that. That's impossible.
they're not.
It's
Then
impossible
I
for it
think
to
you're
be.
underestimating them. I think Nottingham Green gets to the final. I think they've had part of their recruitment, like what they've had the last two Bucks Wednesdays games, where Nottingham Gold have had like amazing games of sort of Huey. I'm not surprised they've got a good beast team because you looked at sort of the crowds in those games. There's going to be people who want to go and play the sport just for sort of the drama of it and how good
Well,
it
we'll,
looks.
we'll see if
There's,
you actually pick them, Dylan. You idiot. But yeah, like it's
I
going to be
didn't.
it's going to be an interesting one. The Northern two is shaping up. U Clan good, but again, it's the whole thing of it'd be nice. It would have been nice if we could have seen a full season from UClan, just so we can see fully what they can do. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they would have lost. They wouldn't have lost a banger, and they wouldn't have lost. They wouldn't have lost. They'd still be undefeated. But there's three undefeated teams in the north. In the north two, and it seems to be that we only talk about two of them. So Southern two's
It's a bit
a
fucked
bit.
down there, isn't it?
It's a bit tricky. It's a bit tricky. Like for me, I know we're leaning on it. Who we think is going to be in the final? For me, it's who is facing Swansea. Um, Swansea
Brighton.
slide in the bin. It's gone.
we've been
You know,
so bold, by the way. Every division we've just been like, right, this team's already in the final. Let's think about the second. This is so
But
going to bite something out.
how about but how much of this are we going to get bang on? That's what I want to say. I
well,
think final.
okay. We'll announce it now. We're going to do a playoff bracket once everything comes out. We're going to do the full line in all four of us.
Are we doing like a
Make it.
March Madness where if you get it all
Yes.
spot on, you win? Fuck all.
Yeah,
You get seal of
you can win.
approval.
You can win something. I'll figure someone out. Um, but yeah, might get
Can
some
you
good
imagine
ones
if
now.
what that would be as hard as much if you managed to predict every bracket in the country, or at least the winner of all of them? I'd be
Well,
impressed.
for every, well, for just this
Well,
I
sport
don't
or
think.
every sport.
well, actually, this is a good time to get into it because Southern two, the the percentages have come to an end. The prediction percentages have come to an end. Both of the gentlemen here had a great one this week. Um, shockingly,
I only won because my actual team won. That's
yeah,
the
that is
sadness
true.
of it.
That is very true.
Everybody voted against me, and because we won, I
If
got all
Yeah,
the easy predictions.
yeah. There were some difficult ones from JB. So both these guys got a +2% increase. I think Dylan ended on 68. SJ finished on 70. Jamie finished on 72, up from 70, but I finished on 73. So I am the winner. Just have it, have it,
you know what,
have
that's
it.
not bad when you think about it. The fact we can predict,
Yeah,
we've all managed to predict almost just over 2/3 of results
yeah.
right, and we've not seen most of these teams ever play.
Open up the bookies.
Open up the book, proud owner.
Open up the bookies. Let me win my cheese. So we are gonna. Don't get me wrong. You've read the title. We are gonna guess them. So, but that's the end because this is how shows work. You put what you want to watch at the end, and the middle stuff in the middle. So we're gonna go over who we thought were going to win the divisions right at the start. We did the far too early. Is it not Mr. Nice? So divisions, um,
Divisions.
divisions. Um, so we're gonna have a look. Firstly, I'm gonna try and look at Dylan's.
Divisions or diffisons.
We'll have a look.
Diffisons.
Oh no, I definitely loaded them in. That's because it's in overlays. Oh god.
We didn't mention Brighton, did we? Brighton.
Okay,
I
let's
like
go
that
for it.
result. I like that result.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's a good result. For me, it was always about. I remember the first Super Bowl I watched in its entirety was Broncos Panthers, and they said the Broncos are the best defense, the the Panthers are the best offense, and you bet on the defense. Sussex just couldn't get anything going. We sort of heard it all. We sort of heard the talk going into the game, sorry, was Sussex have got the better defense, Brighton have got the better offense. And even people who've played Brighton, they're like, oh, they're going to have Sussex. Um, but yeah, I think it just proves that Brighton have done very well in building a program. Georgia
George
Teague's done
has done a mad job there.
a mad
Very,
job there.
very.
Like they're getting promoted, and I'm fairly certain that a few of us picked Brighton to actually go up. But it's incredible what they've done. Undefeated.
I didn't.
But no, I didn't. I didn't. No, I didn't.
Did
I
I?
didn't pick them this week. But one thing I will say, that I think they need this. Fair enough to the Saxons. I didn't see him doing this. Not conceding a point until the final week. Don't get me wrong, I know they won 2 games by 6 points, but you won them, and that's all that matters. I didn't see Sussex doing this. I thought that it wouldn't be sort of as quick to sort of turn around and be like, oh, Sussex looking pretty good over there. I thought that they would have a couple of years to build, but I think it might be very well fair to say few pieces on offense. Sussex could be looking at the divisional winners next year. Yeah, it just fair enough to the Saxons. Good job on getting there, but congratulations to Brighton, of course. Dylan, whose is this? Is this mine or? Right,
That's me.
we're going to start with Dylan's. We can't see Dylan. We can't see any of us. We're going to start with Dylan's. The Prem.
Piss
Oh,
on.
it's so bad.
The Prem he's got right. So, but I
Nice.
think we've all got the Prem right, apart from probably me.
Going on
Scottish
to the
one.
next one, Ted? Who's that? Sad next.
Sad face is the Scottish one because you didn't want to pick it.
Who would you? Can we ask you now? Who would you have picked?
Oh, see, this is where it gets interesting. I probably would have been terrified to say anything other than Sterling because in the same UEA case, that could blow up in your face. Like, because if they go and smash a league, then you'd go, of course they did. It's so obvious they came down from the Premiership. What did you expect? I
So, because I can tell you
I
now,
probably would have said Edinburgh over Glasgow. But
He's talking absolute bollocks.
Glasgow
Absolute
beat
bollocks.
Edinburgh.
No, you fucking
I mean
wouldn't.
that.
Get it back up.
So,
No, I would because Edinburgh got their quarterback back with 2 games to go at the end of last season. I don't know.
so Northern won. You had LJMU.
Oh, mate, he's had a stinker here.
That's what I'm
He's
saying.
had a madness.
Oh
I
my
don't think,
God.
I don't think I've got anybody.
I think no, you haven't got anyone in Div 1. I think it's fair enough to say, and I'm sorry, LJMU, that we're all a bit disappointed with how LJMU have done this year. Don't know
I
what's
would
happened.
argue that's the coldest take out of all of them.
Yeah,
Sads, we did these predictions far too early, mate.
that's what they say. Far too early.
Oh, how do I?
So don't shout at us. Midlands, Sheffield Hallam, not the worst pick in the world.
No.
Um,
Bournemouth, not the worst.
Bournemouth, not the worst.
I've got a couple
Hertfordshire
seconds.
came close with Hertfordshire until someone ruined it for you. Essex, that's a
I think at the start of the season, you wouldn't say that's a bad pick.
Essex. No, God no.
No.
No, won the division last year. Beat Brunel twice. Div 2. I think we all picked Sheffield. No one
Yeah.
really saw Northumbria come in. Did get UClan and Green right. Solent again, they've not had the best season. Bullets 2s again, very much middle of the road, and UCL who have won their division. So you've got, let's put that right. So you've got 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You've got 5 right out of 13.
You know what?
That's all right.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
When you say it like that.
Right, so who's next? So this is me. Okay, beautiful. Prem right. Scottish one, I don't feel bad about. Um,
No,
no. Leeds, again, there was 2 points
Close.
between them and Manchester, and that's what decided it. Um, so I don't feel bad about that. NTU, bang on. Exeter, bang on. Hearts, not bang on, but again, last week. Kent, Kent is still
we
really
don't
good.
know.
We
We
don't
don't know
know.
on Kent.
We don't know on Kent, so half. We don't know on Kent yet, but we'll go half. Okay, Sabres again. Um, yeah. UClan got that right. Green got that right. I thought the Blitz would do better this year. Um, I think I may have been underestimating Swansea. Did get Brighton and went for Imperial. So coming down to the wire on a few of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I got precisely half of them right.
You got 7.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, yeah. Now let's move on. So let's see. Starting off already, Prem.
Oh,
Not
fucked
gone,
it.
not gone well. It's not. It's not gone well.
I'm so sorry to Gold. Oh, mate.
Um, it's like when I picked gold for the final last year, mate. It's always really depressing. So Beckett
This
had great promise. Um,
this looks like I hate Nottingham when you look at it.
You always said that though behind the scenes.
Well, I don't hate Nottingham.
Oh yeah, sure.
what we don't know.
Where's
Hey, no, what? Saying that, no, we've
that
said
come
that,
from?
we thought Leeds. We thought Leeds. If there was a team to do it, it was Leeds. And after the last 2 years, I can see why. Sterling again, not a surprise. Leeds again, 2-pointer. NTU and Exeter, right? I
Right,
think,
on this next one, you need to give it to me because you know everyone for a fact knows that was a bullshit pick from me.
yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, I'm not going to make you do that. Don't worry.
Thank you.
UEA again, we don't know. We still don't know. We'll find out on tomorrow. Sabres again, Northumbria. Um, just came out of the woodwork. UClan Derby.
Derby,
Um,
I was on that Derby train all season. Me and
I,
them, we had a good connection going, and then it just ended in sadness at Nottingham.
Southwest Bullets again. I think the strangest pick here is probably the Stingers.
That was my dark horse one, wasn't it? That was one I was thinking. You know what? I think they're cooking something there, and I think they are. I just think it's in a slow cooker.
It's in the slow cooker, and then UCL to finish it off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What? One, two, three. No, technically seven. If
What are we
seven.
doing about UEA?
Okay, fair enough. 6.5.
Yeah, mate. If I can't have Kent, you can't have UEA.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, so we've got 15 minutes left on this, well-timed show. If the computer allows me to get the graphic um, off of the screen, which it will do here. Right, here we go. Strap in. We're sorry to everyone, okay? We're going to guess the playoffs. Guess. We're going to
This
guess.
is
We're
guess.
going to guess the playoffs. Here's the thing. If you're watching this tomorrow, you already know. You already know. You don't. You can turn it off here if you're watching tomorrow. You're watching live. Stick around.
If you watch this live and then tomorrow morning you wake up and the black brackets are out and it's different to what we've said, please believe the Bucks ones. This isn't.
Yeah.
This is not the real thing.
No.
So
This is.
please don't email Bucks because Bucks is right. Bucks is always right. We're
Yeah.
just
See,
three
like
people that waffle on a.
I've got a Bucks logo that I have to look at every morning, and I'm like, thank you, Bucks. You've given me everything. So, Prem, you tell me if you disagree with any of these. Gold versus Portsmouth.
Yes,
That's
I think
what I've
Portsmouth
got.
think that's what they're doing as well.
Okay, I've got SGS and I've got Durham again. Classic, a rematch of last year's great one.
All reliable.
UE versus Loughborough. Be
Are
interesting.
we predicting these or just?
No, well, no,
No,
just,
Okay.
we're just saying. We're
no,
just
'cause
saying.
we'll predict them when we know. Um,
We're not
and then we'll
predicting
do.
the predicted playoffs.
Yeah, we're
I
not
don't know. I love the
predicting.
thought of just starting random beef between teams that aren't going to play each other.
Oh, don't. Beckett versus Beckett versus Brum. I think that'll be probably the. No, I think Gold versus Portsmouth. I think that's pretty interesting. So we're all happy with those. That's what we've guessed. We've guessed them. We've guessed those. We've guessed them. We've guessed them. Okay. Northern one. I've got no idea who NT were facing in the first round.
I never finished that one off, did I? And I don't think I've got the energy to at this point.
I
Okay.
believe it was going to be either Sterling or Napier at one point, but I don't know now what we did to that. And Sterling got the walkover against Napier yesterday.
What
It's a bit
we
of a
did to that.
shambles.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if Sterling were out. Jeez, I don't think they had to avoid Aberdeen, so it can't be them. So I have no idea anymore.
NTU
So
are going to face
that's the most useless input ever. You're welcome.
NTU are going to face someone in the playoffs. Then I've got Leeds versus Edinburgh. Great game that, I think. Manchester versus Hallam. Nice little rivalry of the Northern one renewed in our guesses, in the guesses that we're doing now, the guesses. And then Glasgow versus Warwick. Warwick travelling all the way to Glasgow on the guessing bus. On the guessing
Warwick,
bus.
Warwick will hope that this guess is very wrong.
Guess. We're going to guess that Warwick are going to have to gas up the bus to go to Glasgow. In the southern one, I'm going to guess that it's Exeter versus KCL. And then I'm going to guess that it's Bournemouth versus Oxford, which I think will be a great game. Then I'm going to guess
How have you got that?
it's.
Hang on a minute. Right, let's go back on this. Who have we got winning? Who in our guesses? Who have we guessed has won the Southeast one? If we're going what we see on Bucks play right now, we'll go with UEA. Let's put UEA there.
Okay, let's
UEA
put
is going to because UEA are number 2. Well done, UEA.
So where are they going?
UEA aren't going anywhere. UEA are going to host Hertfordshire.
UEA are going to host Hertfordshire. Well, that's
We
ruined the
guess.
rest of mine. So then it would
We
be.
guess. I'll finish it off then. And then
Gone.
we're gonna guess that it's going to be Brunel against Oxford, which is a rematch. Very very tasty one because those two teams are actually bang on tied in terms of points with each other, points against each other, and everything. They're tied.
Very nice.
Very nice one. And then we're going to guess it's going to be Bournemouth against Kent.
Oh, that is that right. Oh, that is such a good guess. That is a
What is going
guess.
on? This is
Oh, mate,
terrible. We're getting absolutely
honestly, mate,
gassed up over universities football.
honestly, mate, I guessed that game would be absolutely amazing. Um, okay. Then in the Northern 2, what we're going to do is we're going to guess again. It's going to be UClan versus York. Derby
Just for
versus.
context, there, that's applying Bucks's mini table. Just so people are aware, we think that's what it is.
We've guessed based on that. Then we're going to guess that it's Derby versus Sheffield, which I think is a great game if it happens, but I guess we'll find out. Northumbria versus Edge Hill. I guess. Green versus Lancaster at Nottingham, which I think will be another.
That's a nice.
That'd be a good game
I like that
that
one.
we can guess later on. And then in the Northern 2, we've got Swansea versus City, and I guess that
Northern
means
2.
the Swans. So Scott.
Northern 2. See, this is
Southern
how you
2.
know, guys. This is how you know that this is not the real thing.
You're gonna guess.
Top level journalism right now.
basically what I want to do is I want to send you guys off to bed tonight, dreaming of some of these matchups because these are all guesses.
Made up.
Honestly, I put it to this, guys. In my, I've got NCAA 14. I've done all these games because I know who's going to win them. No,
Is there a chance we've
well,
actually told somebody they might win the playoffs and they might not?
that's why these are guesses. So,
Right.
like,
Who've we
Hang on,
done that
mate.
for?
Just go back.
don't.
Yeah.
I put it to this: if you're watching this and you think I'm going to get my team ready to play,
Don't.
If you're
don't.
emailing your SU right now to book a bus after Glasgow, please don't do that.
Yeah, Warwick, please
That,
don't. Because
as
these are
Fraser
guesses.
pointed out, that pitch will be in Edinburgh.
Like these are guesses because, like in X amount of hours. It's not days or weeks. Hours. Just get a good night's sleep.
We really should have done this tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's funny like this.
They probably should have.
I'll
You
put
know
it,
what?
Dylan.
We
Dylan,
probably
What we're
Dylan.
doing, guys? Come
We
on.
wouldn't have viewers if we did this tomorrow.
You're
People have come here to watch us guess. So we're going to guess, and then it'd be boring if I just tell you because you already know because it's on
going
Bucks.
to put a post up with our guest playoffs, or
Absolutely not, mate.
go on? That would cap it off.
Absolutely
That's the
not,
most interactions you'd ever get.
Dylan. No, you've been back on this show for 50 minutes now, and you think you're going to dictate to me posts? No.
He's won one game and he's coming.
He's back to last year, Dylan. For okay,
Right. Back to Div
okay.
2.
So,
Div 2 South.
uh,
Exeter. No, not Exeter, sorry. But apologies, I've just relegated Exeter there. Swansea.
Swansea versus City. I'm going to guess that's happening.
Good job. By the
then
way, shout out to City. First ever playoff appearance. We
is it?
think.
We think. We
We think.
guess. Don't
They
celebrate.
think that as well, so that's great.
Oh, if they think that, then that's perfect. Sussex versus UCL. No, UCL
No.
versus.
No, number two. No, number two, we think is Brighton.
Sorry, number 2, Brighton. The trek to Swansea from London. Well, here's the thing, Marco. Swansea don't have a home field, so it would
That is
be
hell.
Swansea travelling to City. There's an even worse one on here, so get ready. Brighton would be hosting the University of Gloucestershire Gladiators. We think we guess. Okay. And then it would be UCL hosting Sussex.
No, what? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. No, that would mean Sussex are number 6, would it not?
I don't know. I see a comment section here talking about.
Aberystwyth. It's Aberystwyth.
Aberystwyth, not Sussex. So that's the big journey we're talking about. Aberystwyth going all the way to London.
Again,
then-
though, I'm fairly certain UCL don't have a home pitch. So someone's got to sort that out.
And then it's Imperial versus Sussex,
Hey.
which I think will be another great game.
Oh,
We
that's
guess.
a bit. Do you know what annoys me about that? If that's true, it means that UCL and Imperial don't get to have a rematch until the final, and there's been so much uproar on that today. But again, I just want to, what we put out isn't gospel.
It's a
Okay.
guess. It's a guess. We're guessing. I've guessed it because if I did this show and I didn't guess, it'd be a waste of a show.
If we
So-
waited, we didn't do a single show. We'll wait until after the national finals. We just do 1 hour show every year.
God,
That's
it'd be
it.
nice, wouldn't it?
It's like Gavin and Stacey just come back for one Christmas special every year, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all we're going to do.
Yeah. Maybe next year. 2 shows. One at the start, one at the end.
That's it.
Predict it. See if we got them right. So, yeah, we'll see you on Monday where we'll know, and we'll start doing predictions and things of that nature. But yeah, there you go. I think, pretty good show. But that's because I'm on it. So yeah, we'll see you on Monday. It's a pretty short turnaround for us, but keep your eyes peeled to Bucks play today. What we've
Tomorrow
just spoken
morning.
about for the last, literally ignore it. it means nothing.
Don't ignore the first couple of minutes. Not the first couple of minutes. First couple of minutes. Definitely do. Remember that.
Why?
York.
No, I'm talking about the predictions.
You mean the predictions?
Oh, apologies. Oh, well, I thought you said 50 minutes, not the last 15 minutes.
No, I said the last 15 minutes. Ignore the
Sorry.
first 15, the last 15 minutes. You can ignore that.
Apologies.
The rest of it's been a good show. But there you go. That's it. We'll see you on Monday. Keep your eyes peeled. Peel your eyes on Bucks Play tomorrow morning. And just another shout out. Please do consider chucking some money over to the York Centurions Mind fundraiser for their fallen teammate Adam Scott. So, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, you've all got a week off this week, so enjoy your week. Enjoy your week off. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your Saturday. Go out if you want. I'm not. Right, we'll see you on Monday. Eyes peeled. Bucks play. Eyes peeled. Bucks play.